Welcome, everyone. I hope you had a great week last week and were able to attend some of the Global Accessibility Awareness Day, or GAD, events. If you did, please share the event you attended and what you found new or interesting down in the comments. The first news story this week is about accessibility updates. The Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG, as we pronounce it, are undergoing a significant transformation with the introduction of WCAG 3.0. As detailed in a recent Smashing Magazine article by Mikhail Prosmitsky, this new draft proposes a shift from the traditional binary pass-fail system to a more nuanced graded scoring model that emphasizes usability over mere compliance. Under this proposed model, accessibility outcomes are evaluated using a combination of test types. So the first are binary tests. These are simple yes/no evaluations. For example, does every image have alternative text? That's just yes or no. It either does or it doesn't. Then there are the percentage-based tests, and these are assessments based on the proportion of elements meeting criteria. So like, what percentage of form fields have labels? And then there are qualitative tests, which are subjective judgments rated on a scale. And the example here is how descriptive is the alternative text. These tests yield scores typically normalized on a 0 to 4 or 0 to 5 scale, labeled as poor, fair, good, or excellent. Scores are then aggregated across the functional categories such as vision, mobility, and cognition, as well as user flows. This approach allows teams to recognize partial successes and track improvements over time, moving beyond all or nothing assessments of the previous WCAG versions. And I think 2.2 is the current version. WCAG 3.0 aims to address the complexities of modern user experiences, especially in dynamic and interactive environments. So by focusing on the quality of access rather than the mere presence of features, the guidelines seek to better reflect real-world usability for individuals with disabilities. Currently in draft form, WCAG 3.0 is not expected to become an official W3C recommendation for several years. As we know, they do take their time. However, its development marks a significant step towards more inclusive and user-centered digital accessibility standards. For more in-depth analysis, read the full article on Smashing Magazine that I have posted below. The next story I found is about elder care robots. MIT engineers have unveiled a groundbreaking robotic assistant designed to enhance the safety and independence of older adults at home. The Elderly Bodily Assistance Robot, or EBAR, is a mobile device equipped with robotic handlebars that can support a person's full weight, assisting them in sitting, standing, and walking. Notably, EBAR features side airbags that rapidly inflate to catch users if they begin to fall, addressing the leading cause of injury among seniors. Developed by Professor Harry Asada and graduate student Roberto Bolli, EBAR aims to provide continuous support as users' mobility needs evolve. The robot has been tested in various household scenarios, including helping users to bend down, reach high shelves, and step over obstacles like bathtub edges. Future iterations plan to incorporate machine learning algorithms to assess real-time fall risk and further automate assistance. This innovation comes at a critical time as the U.S. faces a growing elderly population and a shortage of caregivers. EBAR represents a significant step towards enabling seniors to age safely and independently in their own homes. And I'm going to add this last part, if they can afford it. I'm not sure what the affordability of this robot is going to be yet. I'm not sure if if the current administration will even allow any kind of healthcare funds to assist with it, being that they have made major cuts to things like Medicare and Medicaid. So we'll see. There's no way to know if insurance companies will cover this either. So this is definitely something interesting to watch. However, it's going to also be interesting to watch how available it can be for seniors. And our third story is about a new macOS update. So Apple is set to enhance digital accessibility with a suite of new features launching later this year across iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Apple Vision Pro. A standout addition is Braille access, transforming Apple devices into comprehensive Braille note takers. This feature allows users to take notes, perform calculations using the Nemeth Braille and Open Braille Ready format, or BRF files. It also integrates real-time transcription, that's hard to say, through live captions directly on Braille displays. For users with low vision, the Magnifier app is coming to Mac, enabling enhanced readability of physical materials like presentations and whiteboards by utilizing the device's camera. That's exciting. I can't wait to try that one out myself. Additionally, the new Accessibility Reader offers customizable text settings, adjusting font, color, and spacing to aid those with dyslexia or visual impairments. This tool extends to physical text through integration of the Magnifier app. Even more exciting! Apple is also introducing accessibility nutrition labels on the App Store, providing users with detailed information about an app's accessibility features before download. That's really awesome. This week I'm attending the NDATA full day of mobile device training, which gives you several CEUs if you would like. I'm going to put the link down in the description, as I always do. So this will be on May 22nd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern. And it's an online-only webinar, so you don't have to be there physically. It's for anyone who's interested in learning about mobile device accessibility for people with disabilities, highlighting built-in features and apps designed to support greater independence and ease of use. Individuals with disabilities, educators, parents, students, and professionals can benefit from this training. And this free assistive training will provide participants with valuable insights on how mobile devices equipped with built-in accessibility features and apps can enhance the independence of individuals with disabilities in the workplace, at home, and in the community. The AT of the week is text-to-speech, one that I use quite a bit. So let's take a look at the Mac text-to-speech first, and then I'll show you my Android text-to-speech that I use. So on a Mac, the text-to-speech is referred to as spoken content, and you'll find it in the system settings under accessibility. Click on spoken content, and you can turn it on, set it up the way that you want. You can have it speak selection, speak announcements, speak an item under the pointer, and you can also have it speak typing feedback. For the most part, I use the speak selection because it's super easy. And I actually have it set up. I'm going to click, and over here, if you click the little information bubble next to each of these, you can adjust more settings. So you can see I have it set up for starting it when I hit Option Escape, and how I want it to highlight content. Right now I have it at words, and then we have a word color and a sentence color. I'll change those for you all to see how it works. And there's also an update that came through, so hopefully it didn't like negate any of these to force me to have to do the update, so we'll see what happens. And then I have show controller automatically. I think I removed it to do something, but you can also do an underline or background color. Let's do the background color. That'll be fun. So normally I just need it to listen to. I don't always need the tracking stuff. If I am editing papers, or well, I'm not really writing reports or papers anymore, so I don't really need all of the like tracking to keep me on it. But like if I just want to read an article like this, so if I want to start using this is an article from the CDC talking about bird flu in pets and other animals. So I'm going to highlight, not that way. I'm going to highlight the lines that I want it to read to me. So I've highlighted what I want. I'm going to hit Option Escape.
Avian influenza viruses, which can cause bird flu illness, mainly.
And on the screen here, you'll see this small little toolbar pop up. At the top of the toolbar, it says Chrome. It lets me know what program I have it focused in. So I am in Chrome right now, and that's why it says that at the top of the toolbar. Along the toolbar, the outer buttons are speed. So the left one is an image of a turtle, and the far right one is an image of a rabbit. So, you know, obviously turtle makes it slower, rabbit speeds it up. And then you have, from the turtle side on the left, you have turtle, and then you have a skip back, a play, a stop. Play also becomes pause once it starts. Then you have the stop button, and you have the skip forward button, and then you have the rabbit button. I'm going to hit play so it starts reading again.
Mainly infect and spread among wild birds and domestic poultry. However, some avian influenza viruses can infect and spread to other animals, including pets. While it is unlikely that you would get sick with bird flu from direct contact with your infected pet, it is possible if your pets, including pet birds, cats or dogs, go outside and eat or are exposed to sick or dead birds, dairy cows, or other animals infected with avian influenza viruses. They could become infected.
All right, and so it just reads it to me. I'm not getting the tracking stuff to work right now, but that could be due to the update sitting and waiting in my system settings. So, but basically that is your text-to-speech on Mac. It's easy to use. I can also go back into settings and tell it, instead of speak selection, I can have it speak the item under the pointer. And there it did it because I turned it on. So if I go back here.
Avian influenza viruses, which can cause bird flu illness, mainly infect and spread among wild birds and domestic poultry. However, some avian influenza viruses can infect and spread to other animals, including pets.
So I hovered it over the single point. It read both sentences in there. So, yeah. And
calendar, my system settings.
It's going to read everything under my mouse as well. So it depends on.
Check.
We can go.
After delay.
We can set it up to, actually I'm going to turn it off just so it stops.
Cancel.
So it stops reading and everything to you, so you can hear what I'm saying here. You can set it up to speak item under the pointer only when it's zoomed in, always, and then you also have speech verbosity, which mine is low. And that means that it's going. If my verbosity is low, it's not going to read nearly as much. And then I can also set up a delay, which I like to set up, a little more of a delay so that it's not just reading everything as I'm moving around. That might actually fix it a little more. And then I have to hover over something before it reads. And then you have speak typing feedback, which I'm not going to type on here tonight. This was mostly text-to-speech reading wise. So, but you know how to find it now. Go play with that. So next I'm going to be showing you how to select to speak text on Android. Set up, you're going to go to settings, scroll down, and it is the fourth one under battery. And then I'm going to go down, there is downloaded apps, and then there's a screen reader section that also has TalkBack, but that's for full phone control. So we're not going to use that one. The one on top is select to speak. And I already have my shortcut on, and it's called an accessibility button, but I can turn it on and off here. And that's what turns on the little floating button. Unfortunately, it does not show up on the recording. All you'll be able to see is the menu once I do get there. So let's go to an article. This is a Motorola, and my previous Motorola had a different symbol in a set location down in the bottom right hand corner. It was like a little person symbol, and it stayed there the whole time. Now this phone, I have it activated, but it's a little bubble that I can move around the screen. I can push it to the side, and it kind of hides halfway behind the side of the screen if I don't need it at that time or it's in my way. So what I will do is I move it kind of where it's not in my way. And all I need to do is when it's out and not pushed halfway in, to get it back out. If I do push it in, all I have to do is touch it and it comes back out. And once I touch it again while it's out, you'll see a stop sign and a play symbol. And that means it's ready for me to select the part of text I want it to read. I want it to read these paragraphs, but there's a link in here. It's a little finicky about links. Unless you select them within your selection, it might skip over them and not read them. So I will take and I want it to read this paragraph right here.
Herb gardens are a staple for many gardeners. Not only are herbs fairly easy to grow, but you also get the added benefit of being able to harvest them on a regular.
And so you heard me slow it down. What I did was I hit the little arrow next to the play button on the select to speak menu, and there's a minus sign on the left and a plus sign all the way on the right, and those allow you to speed up and slow down your text. And then you also can skip between sentences or sections, whatever it has automatically divided up the text as, by using, there's like skip symbols around the play button, which is in the middle. So it goes minus, skip back, play, skip forward, plus, and then you have the stop sign, which makes it stop and go away. It will remove that menu from my screen so it's not in the way anymore. And I did pause it, so I'm sitting here talking to you, and it will pick right back up where I left off, and I'm going to speed it back up to my speed, but I wanted you to hear a little bit of it slowed down.
Basis for your cooking, and say goodbye to wasted store-bought herbs that go off in your fridge.
Okay, that's sped it up. And so, let me see what these other two paragraphs are. It will read whatever you can select on the page, and again, if you want it to read the links, like here in this sentence, it says, but if you are considering adding mint to your garden, mint is actually a link, so I want to make sure and select the word mint so it will read it. Otherwise, it just skips over it. And if I'm sitting there looking at it and reading it with my eyes, I personally know that word goes into the blank, just because I've used this tool for so many years that I'm just used to how it works.
But if you're considering adding mint to your garden or are already growing it, you may want to think twice. We talk to expert gardeners to find out why you should never grow mint in the garden and what to grow instead.
All right, and then I hit the stop button. Well, actually, mine will go away when it's done reading sometimes, but if I hit the stop button, then it'll go away. So let's start this and just get a bunch of it, and I'll
select to speak. Herb gardens are a staple for many gardeners.
And then I hit the stop button, it stops, and the little menu goes away. So that's really what the stop button does. But I can also pause it and then go back to where I was reading previously. I am back. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share this to anyone who you think might find this interesting. I am still working on my courses and making sure that there are slide decks for the courses, because I know how much the people in my field love slide decks. So I'm trying to make sure that they are accessible. Still getting my website set up. But if you have any news that you would like for me to report for the week or to look into, please email me at atchick@atchick.org. Have a great week. Bye.